Always we out here. Nature. Beautiful, beautiful nature. The outdoors, the fresh outdoors. Today I want to talk about how when you know, you know. What I mean by that. When you know, and you got knowledge yourself, and you got information that a lot of people probably don't care to know about. There's some people that just don't care to know about what's going on in the world. And sometimes you want to educate people, enlighten people, awaken people, shake people up and say, hey, this is what's going on. You need to be in tune. You need to realize what's going on out here. It's real in the field. But this is a different generation. This generation has a different spirit than past generations. And every generation, there's always this talk of like, in my day, we used to do it a certain way. And in your, whatever generation you in your mind, your perspective, your insight is that you came from the best generation. You had it the hardest. You are the smartest. You did things a certain way and you're used to it. So you're going to have a bias to the way that you're used to, the way that you're programmed from the environment, from the society, from the way things were. So right now, the generation that we live in, it's the trending timeline, microwave generation, where things happen quick and things can be hot for a while, but then once something else comes along that's bigger, badder, and fresher and more interesting, then it can be gone in the blink of an eye. It can evaporate. So what's the next generation after? So we went from the, from the boomers to the zoomers. So what's next? What do we have after the zoom? Let me hear you say, hey, yo. What's next? What's next after Generation Z? What's next? Because people used to complain about millennials and say, millennials, yeah, crazy, yeah, you're just, lazy and all this, whatever the stereotypes and stigmas and biases and all that stuff about millennials. And now you have the Generation Zs. And if we are complaining that each generation is becoming, in your perspective, your insight, in your mind, that is becoming worse or becoming less of what things used to be, whose fault is that? If you're not passing down, if they're not inheriting success to be set up where we're taking care of all of humanity, we're taking care of nature, we're taking care of the planet, we're taking care of the galaxy, when do we as people, as a human species, when do we take responsibility and say some of this is our fault and we can't keep blaming it on the next generation because they not learning, they knuckleheads, and they can't seem to tie their shoe the way that we taught them to tie their shoe. Now they got to get the Velcro straps. You know what I'm saying? Like, when do we take responsibility? Because we're not passing down the torch. We're not passing the baton. We're not giving them the inheritance that the next generation need to really take us to infinity and beyond. Some of this got to fall back on us for not rearing the next generation up to where they need to be, to catch them up to speed. Some people hang on to knowledge and information and positions of power, and they don't want to relinquish that. You might create a corporation or a company or a firm or something that's successful, and then you're like, yo, I'm gonna be the president, and I'm gonna be the chairperson, and I'm gonna be whatever, I'm gonna be the top dog of this thing, and you're doing a great job. But then someone else comes along that can do an even better job, and all you gotta do is just step out the way and go do something else, because you got the skill set, you got the talent, you got the knowledge, the know-how, the wisdom, the understanding to do it, because you already proven that you did it. So pass that baton to the next person so they can do it, and you can go on and do another thing and another thing and another thing. Build legacy and pass on these things, these tools for the next generation to do their thing. You know, it could be someone that's in power for 30 years, and it could have been 7 potential individuals that came and interviewed or came and wanted that position to grow, but because of the glass ceiling, you wouldn't move out the way. They end up going somewhere else and working for another corporation or creating their own thing, and they taking off. Now they got $1 million, $1 billion, $1 trillion corporation, firm, nonprofit, whatever. And that could have been your thing that, you know what I'm saying? So like, what's learned must be passed on. So you must teach what's been taught. You can't hoard it all. You can't hoard it on. Pass on the baton, pass on the torch, and keep the flame going. Peace, love, smiles through the galaxy. I'm Zachary. I see you. Hey, be kind to yourself, be kind to others, be kind to nature. Universe will support you. Love y'all. We can do better, and we will do better, because every generation matters. From the old timers to the new timers. All right, let's get it.